In past geopolitical roundups, we've discussed the continuing rebellions and insurgencies in the Sahel, as well as the recent coups d'etats in states dealing with them, primarily Mali. France, formerly sovereign in Mali, had been assisting the country's fight against jihadists and other rebel groups in the harsh terrain of the Sahel, including large-scale campaigns in the 2010s such as the Timbuktu campaign. However, successful military coups occurred in 2020 and 21, with the resulting military leaders rejecting the French and welcoming the Russian-backed Wagner Group. As part of this effort, French was removed as one of the country's official languages. This was followed by a string of military coups in the Sahel region, and although we didn't cover every one of them at the time, they were noted in our recent look at the Wagner Group and its extensive activities in Africa. The result was that by the end of 2022, pro-French governments had fallen to Wagner-backed coups in Mali, Guinea, Chad, and Burkina Faso, forming the so-called coup belt across the West African Sahel. An attempted coup in Niger had been thwarted in 2021, with the country representing not only a red line for the French for several reasons, but a vital base of operations for the Americans as well. This meant the situation in the West African Sahel would be brought to a head when a military coup seized Niger's capital Niamey on July 26, 2023. France, for their part, holds significant economic and resource interests in the country. Not only does Niger provide France with its uranium, used for France's extensive nuclear power network, but France, in turn, provides the overwhelming majority of foreign investment in Niger. Unlike the other Sahel states, the United States of America also bases troops out of the country, not only to secure the free trade of a vital resource such as uranium, but more importantly to keep it out of the hands of Islamist groups in the border areas, whom American forces would also coordinate action against. While it doesn't appear that the Wagner Group was actually behind the coup, in the time since, anti-French sentiment has been growing on the streets, with some burning the French flag in favor of the Russian. Accordingly, the new ruling military council, or junta, turned on the French, instead requesting assistance from Wagner. France, which had withdrawn from the other Sahel countries when asked, did not recognize the new regime but took a wait-and-see approach. The Americans did the same, while also consulting with Nigeria. This former British colony is the most powerful state in West Africa. Though beset by its own bevy of internal problems, including an Islamist insurgency, Nigeria is the head of the Economic Organization of West African States, ECOWAS, and a neighbor to Niger with a major diplomatic presence in the country, would be the local actor with the biggest role to play. Initially, ECOWAS gave the Niger junta a one-week deadline, requesting they step down and return power to the previously elected government. Failure to do so would result in military action. However, some ECOWAS states, as well as the Nigerian parliament, backed off that threat. Nigeria's mostly pro-Western president has left the door open, but sanctions were imposed and a more diplomatic solution became more likely. On the flip side, the other military regimes in the Sahel, which have each been suspended from ECOWAS, pledged their military support to the Niger junta in case of conflict. This helped to make the prospect of conflict even more unappealing, as the growing coalitions on each side mean that such a conflict would be a large regional war. It shouldn't be overlooked, however, that the reason this is all happening largely stems from the dire humanitarian and security situation in the Sahel. The Islamist insurgencies, though reduced, continue to pose a major security threat and make travel unsafe. Meanwhile, economic opportunities are few and far between. This has deeply affected the legitimacy of the region's elected governments, as well as the French, prompting the string of military coups that came to a crescendo with these dramatic events in Niger. The situation is continually evolving and we'll be following it closely. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment. For more content like this, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so you're notified about the next video. Check out the resource that forms the basis for these videos at apoliticalworldmap.org. And if you can, please sign up for our Patreon to keep the content coming. Thanks again. I'm Alex. I am out.